But this is what Iceland did, and this is a very, very urgent message to all the countries that are in a difficult position, not only in Europe, but in the United States and everywhere, is that the general public in Iceland is telling and showing all the other general publics that they can also say no to socialization of private debt. So taxpayers should not have to pay for the reckless behavior in the banking sector. We should never pay for them. They never share with us when they are having big profits. They only give themselves bonuses that are outrageous, and they never share. Why should we then, pick up their mess? So it's high time for the peoples in these countries to say no. And it all started with a very simple, small petition online. Very many people talk down petitions. And in every country, people can find a way to force national referendums if enough people sign up. So if you get 15%, 20% of the nation to say, we want to vote on this, if we want to bail out the banks, they can't say no.
Yeah.
So just get started.
Yeah.
Get going.
This is the main point, and we came here just to see how you are doing here to solve a model, a pattern to be followed in other species.
I mean, it's different legal systems in each country. Here we found the way so that we can enforce it legally. So I just encourage people to look which way to go, whom to direct the petition to. Like, we directed it to the President of Iceland because according to our constitutional law, he has to sign all the bills from the government. That's his only power. And if enough people, or if there's a rift between the nation and the parliament, his duty is to stop the law and call for national referendum. So if enough people call for that, then he has to say yes. And I'm sure that in each country you have that sort of loophole for the public. And that's the thing. We have to learn from all these tricksters and banksters and corporations and corrupt politicians. We have to use their methods for the general public. So we learn their tricks, and then we use the same methods. They create loopholes with lobbyists when they're writing bills, for example, the financial sector, when they deregulate and all these things. So let's us together find the loopholes so that we can have some power in determining the direction we want to take with our societies. It is high time that we reclaim the power, but we have to put some work in it. Because if we want to live in a society, the dream society that we want, then we have to help co-create that dream, or somebody else is never going to be able to fulfill our own dreams. So you have to put some effort. If you're not happy with your society, nobody can change it except you.
But this is true, but there is something that maybe have to happen to join the people. And here in Iceland, the starting point maybe was a leak that was in the parliament, wherever. There was some information, and this collapse 2008 that made the people join. And
well, I think we had, of course, the third largest financial collapse in the history of humankind, because we have to do everything very big, even if we're very few. So at times of crisis, and I really encourage everybody that's listening to this to read a book by Naomi Klein called The Shock Doctrine, and it explains how corrupt powers or people that live to control others and have power in societies use times of crisis to put into place emergency laws that are very damaging in the long term, and then the emergency laws tend to last, just like the emergency laws we're seeing in Egypt. There was emergency laws, the nation was forced to sign up to a new constitution without any debate, and so they got one bad power away and the new bad power instead. So it's so important that we know what we want. It's not enough to say, I want to get rid of a corrupt power. We also have to know what we want instead of that corrupt power. And the only way to sort of empower people is for them to make the units in society smaller. We have two large systems to oversee the general structure of society. And that means that too much power is in the hands of very few people. So we have to start by involving ourselves in communities and finding the issues that we feel are important. And it's different between countries, but we're all aspiring for the same things. And the one most important thing that unifies all humanity is this planet. We all live on this planet. And we have to realize that we're running out of it if we carry on living the way we do, and particularly us in the West. So we can't expect the other nations that are getting material wealth compared to the poverty they've been in, like in China and India. We can't expect them to not have our lifestyles if we are not willing to compromise our lifestyles and understand that there is not going to be any future for our children if we don't change our ways, the way we consume. So that's the first thing that unifies us. The second thing is we can look at continents, and then we can look at countries, and then we can look at communities. But for any change to occur is that it has to occur in the heart of every human being. All revolutions start in our hearts and the way we behave in our daily lives. So if we're not willing to change anything, then we can't expect others to change.